I don't think I've done a walk around on this cycle cart since I made it. So today I'm going to be showing you some of the things I used for this cycle car and some of the things that I made myself. So stick around. First off, there's a lot of things that I still have to do to call it good for once. One of them being the wheels. They need to be painted the same color as the gas tank. I have to make the fake gas tank cap right here. I haven't gotten to it. And then I gotta do a chain guard right here and put a chain tensioner to hold the chain because it falls off without it right now, so that's why I don't have it on. So I need to work on that. And there's also a friction shock that goes here that I have to fabricate somehow. And then in the front here I had to put also a fake engine started to make it look similar to the model. So those are one of the major things that I still have to work on. Let me show you now the switches here that I installed. These I painted, so this piece right here does not come with it. I made that one to put these on to kind of make it look similar to what I saw in the picture. These ones here are also not complete. I have to cut a piece of metal to put on top here to make it look like the actual vehicle. Let me show you a picture here. This is what I'm talking about. Those little silver looking little pieces there, I still have to get that done. And obviously the steering wheel that I am currently working on, trying to make everything look as close as possible to the actual model, which is kind of difficult, but slowly you kind of can get there. All right, next let me show you here the battery box that you already saw in one of the videos. That's completed. I still want to add a switch somewhere here to turn off the power completely, so I don't have to be taking it off and put it on whenever I need it. So I still have to work on that one. This, you've seen it. This is actually my hand brake lever right here. It actually works. I'll show you later how the inside looks. The other piece, I still have to figure out what I am going to use it for. Have a couple ideas, but I never got to try it out. Here, leather straps, they're pretty good the way they are. I'm happy with it. The ones in the front. Now these ones right here are just plumbing stuff from the hardware store. That's what I use there. Same with these caps right here. I use plumbing PVC to make it look the way it is. Alright, so the front end here, you've seen when I made those steering knuckles, and then the front axle sway as well. Now the front leaf springs, it's a single one, which is the same one as in the back, but the back I left 2 leaves in there. It has 3 originally. It comes with 3 different sizes, but because of the weight I took one off, and then the front I just used 1. And these other pieces here I made, except this, and tie rods, I bought those. I also fabricated these ones, and the ones in the back, everything else I bought. This one is gonna be a fake looking drive axle in there, because I changed the original design, but once it's completed it will look pretty nice. I gotta put a little molding over here also. So there's still a lot of little things that I need to work on. Now I'm gonna take the body off of the chassis so I can show you the inside. So the way I'm holding the body into the chassis, I'm using this clevis right here with the little, I put a washer on to make it look the way it is, and they were a little longer, but I cut them off to where I need them, and then I'm using the little pin on the other side to hold them. I'm using 8 total. I got one there, one here, that one, and then one more here. So before I take it off, let me show you the lights on. They work. And then in the front, and there is a horn right there. Let me push the button so you can hear it. It's pretty loud. And then outside works. These switches here, only one of them is being used right now. The other 3, I still have to figure out what I'm gonna use them for, but I need hazard lights, so I'm probably gonna use one of those for that, and I may use the other one for the engine shut off. I still have to figure it out. Gotta run more wires for that, which I have already done that for the rest of the stuff, so kind of not wanna mess up with it anymore. So there's the connection. The relay should be in there, the switches. So I'll show you in a little bit. So to be able to take the body off, I have to obviously take the pins off. I have to remove the seat and the brake lever here, because when I lift it up it hits this area here, so I have to remove it before I ever take the whole body off. The gas tank is pretty easy, so all I have to do is just take that off and it comes out. Let me show you. That's it. The seat, I just have to lift it up. It doesn't have a screw securing it for now. I don't need to have that on, so it just pulls up, comes off. Pretty easy. The bottom piece can stay put secure where it is. I only put 2 screws in the back, in the bottom here. You can see right there, and the other one over there on the other side. And then you saw one of my other videos on how I made this. This is fake leather, and these buttons that I got from Amazon. By the way, you can buy all this stuff that I'm showing you, most of it from my affiliate page from Amazon. If you go there, you'll find this stuff. Now I'm going to take the clevises off, and let me show you here what I'm talking about. I'm just using this pin right here to secure it. I'll just take it off and remove the pieces all around, and then I can remove the whole body. Now I gotta remove this, like I said earlier. Now I can remove the whole thing, but first I have to undo this connection here. And this one right here. They're pretty easy to unplug. Let me show you the wires in the back. I just wrapped it up all together and made a connection here. Same thing up here. You can see right there. I had to make a hole in there to accommodate these switches because they're not thick enough, and I'm using 3/4 plywood there. Actually, that's wood, oak. Now the places to hold the body on to the chassis, I have one little hole here, the other one right here, and then I install these pieces here, one in the back and one in the middle here. Seems to work. Alright, let me show you the brakes here. This is just a simple go-kart pedals, and I just had to add this little piece on top of it to be able to install that. Here, all I did welded this piece here for my throttle, and then it just goes all the way back to where the engine is. Now, for this master cylinder, I'm using two. One for my foot pedal, and it goes on the left side here, and then I have a second one on the right side with another master cylinder right there for my handbrake. I thought that one was not going to be enough because it's a pretty heavy machine, so I think that works. Well, it has worked every time that I brought it out. I already drove it a bunch of miles. I already broke one of the belts as well. This is the second one, so I got this one from Power Sports, and so far it's holding up. Alright, now let me show you the lights here in the front. I have directionals, daylights. I'm using these smaller ones for low beams and the bigger ones for high beams. And then I have this horn right here that I put up. It's been working good so far, so no complaints. And then, well, the rear lights are on the body here, not on the chassis, so that's why I had to do this connection and then that connection under here for the switches. Then the wiring, I kind of put all of that together. I bought a kit, but that kit was only for directionals. It only had one switch, which it works, but then I said I'm gonna put all of these lights right here, so I decided to buy more cable and switches, the ones that I already showed you, and I kind of went a little crazy and made it work. And I still need to add more for the hazards, like I said earlier. So it's a lot of work. Here is the connection. I made the joints right there. Goes to the battery, goes to the back. It's nicely secure to the frame. Same with the brake lamp right here. Now let me show you under here. So all of this right here is made out of foam, and then I just painted it, which I'm surprised it hasn't fall off, but it was just an experiment, and eventually I want to make it a little bit more heavy duty. So while I'm back here, let me show you these other parts that I made for the steering to work. It's kind of dark. Let me go to the other side. This steering beam right here came together with the rack. Just like a used one that I bought for $20 off of Facebook, and I just made some modification here to connect it to where I want it. And then there's one piece going from there to the back here, which connects to this one and goes all the way to the front in order to make the vehicle turn. So it works fine. Now let's move to the back, where the engine is just a regular Harbor Freight engine, an Amazon torque converter. Everything here is from Amazon. The sprocket 62 number 35, same with the chain. That little chain tensioner back there, it kind of works. That chain didn't come off since I installed that on it, so it works. And then this, the only modification I guess I can say that I've done to this is this exhaust right here, that pipe. I put it to the bottom right here, and then I wrapped it up, put some spray on it, and so far so good. And then the switch that I obviously took off from it, took it out, and I put it under the seat right there. That's pretty much it. Everything else you already seen in my other videos. So that's mostly it. If you have any questions, suggestions on some of the things that I still have to do, put it in the comments. Just let me know what you think about all this stuff. And if you have a project that you're working on, just keep going. For this one, for me, it's been over 2 years, and as you can see, still not done, but eventually it'll be done.